Welcome to the Michigan Horse Council News. This is a special report. Equine does matter here in Michigan. At this very moment, Michiganders are getting out back to nature on some of the beautiful equine trails here in Michigan. The equine industry is one of the largest in the United States, affecting our agricultural and tourism economies. The Michigan Horse Council has 80,000 adult members and 20,000 youth group organizations and is growing. In recent survey by the American Horse Council in 2017, is cited that the Michigan equine economy is generating approximately $1.6 billion. That is a lot of hay, folks. And because of this, we do have State Representative Julie Alexander from the 64th District that will be joining us here shortly to outline how this is important to our economy, and also the Grown in Michigan campaign that she is spearheading. We will also be joined by Ms. Jenny Cook, a representative from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, celebrating 100 years of Michigan state parks here in our great state. Ms. Julie Verganick of the Beekman Riding Therapeutic Stables will be here, helping people with disabilities. And Mr. Bruce Durr, he'll also be joining us. He is the statewide trail director for the Michigan Horse Council. And Ms. Tammy Tyler also will be here. She is the communications coordinator for the Michigan Horse Council. So sit back, relax, and it's all here today on the Michigan Horse Council News Special Report.
I'm State Representative Julie Alexander. Welcome to Grown in Michigan. This evening we're at MSU's campus at the Pavilion for the Michigan and Great Lakes International Draft Horse Show and Pull. We have draft horses here not only from around our country, but Canada and Europe. I'm so excited to learn more about this industry. Come join me. It's fascinating.
Sure could use a slide of that front porch swinging kind of life.
Michigan's equine industry contributes $1.6 billion to the state's economy and is responsible for more than 30,000 jobs statewide. Michigan is also home to the 12th largest population of horses at more than 188,000. The competition sector alone supports nearly 12,000 jobs and adds $591 million in value to our state's economy.
So what you're bringing here into the community, it's not just great entertainment, not great family entertainment, but when you look at the economic impact, all of these farmers, draft horse farmers are bringing
it, yeah. And we're just one show. There's a ton of these shows that are out there that we're missing, but we've done impact studies here, and we're running between $1 million and $1.3 million of economic impact in a 4-day weekend to the East Lansing area. And so I think it's very significant. I think that Michigan could have one of these just about every weekend of the year if we work together.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Michigan Horse Council News Special Report. As we indicated, the equine industry is very responsible for helping Michigan's economy, especially the agricultural economy, continue to keep growing. And as you just saw in the Grown in Michigan piece produced by Miss Julie Alexander, State Representative of the 64th District, she's here also in person to describe her efforts and how this is going to continue as we move forward out of the pandemic to help keep our economy strong here in Michigan. Thank you, Ms. Alexander, for coming here today. And
Absolutely,
certainly you've
my
been out
pleasure.
there working hard on behalf of taxpayers to promote, the excellent agriculture that we have in our great state.
Well, I am in my third and final State House term, and working hard is what we as farmers do, isn't it?
Isn't it?
So when I said I do at the altar 34 years ago, I became a farmer. My husband and I have been blessed to be raising 4 children, and before that I was a middle school teacher. So it's my combination of being that farmer and that middle school teacher. I value education, and I think we can all do a better job of educating our state, educating legislators on the importance of our agricultural industry here in Michigan.
Indeed, indeed. And for many of us that are getting back to nature by eating better foods, there's not a better place than here in Michigan, as we're finding out.
Oh, exactly. In fact, Michigan ranks number 2 in the nation for the most diversification of commodities raised and grown. We raise and grow over 300 different commodities here in our state. So we're just following behind California. So we do a great job here in our state, and I am proud and honored to be able to boast and be a champion of our industries.
Indeed, and we're glad to have you definitely as a representative out there promoting this aspect of our state. As moving forward, do you continue to see an increase in focus, on our agricultural economy as manufacturing is slipping a bit, and we may not be able to rely so much on that over the next several years, and that this could be a really great stopgap measure for our state?
Well, exactly, and it's important we promote our own industry. It's important that those, whether you're in the horse industry, the equine industry, or cattle, or crops, commodities, doesn't matter what portion of the ag economy you represent, your voices need to be heard. And what's crucial as a state legislator is that each and every one of you out there listening know to get in touch with your legislators. They're the ones making the decisions. Please make your voices and opinions known to them. And as we move forward, I do believe agricultural industry will only get stronger and better. We're continue to look at ways to export more of the commodities that we're raising. That is an important piece of it. But as we reflect on what we're going through over the last 14 months with COVID-19, I think for the first time, individuals are reflecting on the fact that they went to the grocery store and their favorite product may not have been there. They might not have been able to get that gallon of milk or fresh produce or meat, get in for the processing of their meats. So with that conversation being elevated, I think it continues to show and help us showcase the value we bring.
Indeed, indeed. And it's good people like you that we can rely on in our state government to help us during these times. And as you're out there meeting people, and those viewers out there may want to get in touch with Ms. Alexander, as they are also promoting perhaps what they're doing in the agricultural area. I'm glad that certainly they'd be able to get a hold of you and you could be receptive to what their questions may be.
Yeah, absolutely, and you make a really valid point. So I'm honored to be serving for my as the chair of the House Agriculture Committee for my second term now. But I encourage each and every one of you listening to know who your state legislator is, know who your representative is, know who your senator is. They need to hear from you. As a legislator, we don't have all the answers. We need, in my opinion, to surround ourselves with knowledgeable people. We won't have all the answers, but we need to know who to go to to get accurate, fair information. And if those of us that truly value the ag economy and just the lifestyle, the importance agriculture brings to our great state, your voices need to be heard and your legislators need to hear from you, because if they're hearing the story from someone else, then are we sure they're getting the right story? So there is so much value in everyone reaching out to their legislators.
Indeed, you're making yourself extremely accessible, and we appreciate that. I know our viewers do. So thank you so much, Ms. Alexander. Keep up the hard work out
My
there.
pleasure. My
and
pleasure.
We'll be seeing you out in the trails.
Absolutely.
And stay with us, folks, here at the Michigan Horse Council News Special Report.
Insurance is something people don't really realize what it does. They have to buy it, and they're looking maybe at the cost. But on the worst day of your life, when you know and you feel safe, I'm protected because I discussed the needs with my insurance agent. And so the worst day of your life, you have the coverage you need. And we make people whole again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Michigan Horse Council News Special Report. We're very honored today to have a representative from the Department of Natural Resources, Ms. Jenny Cook, who's a trail ambassador here to help us understand what's going to be happening out in the state parks and the equine trail systems, celebrating 100 years of state park service here in the state of Michigan. So you know your tax dollars are hard at work. Thanks, Ms. Cook, for joining us today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
You've been representing a equine trail committee appointed by the governor to go about, talk to the public, engage them about the beautiful equine trails we have in our state that are apparently the best in the country.
Yes.
You've been just off the trail yourself. Tell us, what are the big efforts that you are going to be doing this year on the trails? And what are some of the interesting tourism aspects that some of our viewers may want to be interested in as far as the shoreline riding goes?
Right. Thank you, Doug. Thank you for this opportunity. So we just are ready to celebrate Michigan and celebrate our horse trails here in Michigan. We have some of the best horse trails in the nation here. When you consider the fresh water and the abundance availability of that through creeks and rivers and the lakes, and then the shady trees, that is just so nice keeping our horses cool and keep us cool. We're moving along the trails. The rolling hills are fabulous. It's just the right kind of terrain, so it's not difficult, but it's interesting. And the sandy soil is particularly great for horses. They can move out really well on that. It's not so much rocky. And where it is rocky, we can put boots on or shoes on the horses, so we'll get by. And we're really the original all-terrain vehicle.
Indeed, indeed. And here we are in the 21st century, and here we are in a pandemic. And definitely this is a way for a lot of us to kind of forget about the pandemic and perhaps experience life as we've known it before in the past, and getting back to nature can help us do that.
That's very true. Our horses, we are taking care of them day and night, year round. It doesn't matter what the weather. In fact, when the weather is most treacherous, we're out there 4 times a day making sure they're okay. And so the horses are always out there. They're ready for us. They're ready to perform. They're such a great asset for people. So we're really excited about the trails that are offering. And just an exciting idea is that we are now working towards a shoreline horseback riding opportunity.
Wonderful.
And this is with the Michigan DNR at Silver Lake Sand Dunes. And we're working on that in just a selected time of year with reservations at this time.
Beautiful.
So it's a developing idea, and it's really a desire to get out on the trails, but to see the Lake Michigan shoreline and to travel that shoreline in a way that you may have never considered.
In fact, I thought I was up in Northern California when I saw some of the beautiful pictures that you're taking as you display this potential for our tourism industry.
Yes.
Tourism being a big part of our economy and will continue now to be as we move forward away from the pandemic. And Jenny, you've been working hard out on the trails to ensure safety, because a lot of us are out there in our ORVs and we'll run across trail groups. So how are they maintained, and how is this done?
Thank you for asking, Doug. Our horse trails are maintained by horse friends groups, and we have over 50 horse friends groups throughout the state of Michigan. And we designate and we design and we maintain and sustain horse trails. And if it wasn't for these horse groups, we probably would not have a horse presence out there. And they give back over $500,000 annually to the state of Michigan, to our public lands, so horses can have a place out on the trails. So we're really appreciative of all of those donations and of the volunteer efforts. It's just incredible.
Certainly there's trail etiquette, as more and more of us will be getting out this summer out on these trails, and it's expected to be a huge surge actually. It's going to be important to watch our equine people as we come to road intersections. So ladies and gentlemen, in conjunction with the Department of Natural Resources, the Michigan Horse Council produced a public service announcement outlining some of the dangers that we may encounter when we see horse crossing signs. So if you would, just take 1 minute please to review this PSA.
Always pass slow and wide when encountering Michigan equine trail groups on Michigan roadways. The Michigan Horse Council, along with the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, maintains over 225 miles of outdoor recreational trails for horse and equine activities. The Michigan State Police reported there were 889 traffic fatalities and 753 cell phone distracted driving crashes this year, a 13% increase from the previous year. Horse and livestock fatalities are on the increase. Please keep these common sense procedures in mind when encountering equine trail signs. Always pass slow and wide. Heed riders' request to slow down. Activate hazard signal lights on your vehicle, and treat every horse as a hazard. This message from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and the Michigan Horse Council.
It's only natural. You want what's best for your horse. As horse owners ourselves, we value natural and nourishing blends of essential nutrients with specially selected whole seeds and vegetables. Sweet potatoes, beet pulp, alfalfa, and probiotics work together to support your horse's digestive health. Protein-rich peas, omega fatty acids from black oil sunflower seeds, and antioxidant-packed carrots keep your horse feeling its best. Premium nutrition meets nature's wholesome ingredients. Wholesome blends from Tribute Equine Nutrition. Make Mother Nature proud.
Hi, welcome back to the Michigan Horse Council News. We have with us my friend Julie Virginik from, it is now called the Equine Learning Center.
Close. Equine Center for Learning.
Equine Center for Learning.
Formerly Beekman Therapeutic Riding Center.
Julie will be talking to us about equine assisted learning and different perspectives in the state of Michigan.
Thank you, Tammy. What a pleasure to be here. So what are equine-assisted services? A lot of people have heard about equine-assisted therapies and learning and hippotherapy. So really, equine-assisted services, it's the overarching umbrella that refers to any service that helps to facilitate physical, emotional, social healing, and it also includes a learning component. And we are finding that is growing leaps and bounds right now. Two things to remember about horses. One is the social aspect, that they don't judge people by appearance. In other words, they don't care what you've been through. They don't care if you're wearing the greatest and latest style of clothing. And then there's the physical aspect, that if you aren't aware, from the physical side, the horse's hip was created with a 3-point movement system, just like a human's. So in other words, when we take someone out of a wheelchair and put them onto the back of a horse, it most closely mimics that of what their hip would do if they were able to walk. So meanwhile, it works on all their core muscles, and it works on their cognitive abilities, and just different muscle groups that would normally be used if they were able to walk, and so on. So that same simulation. And there are really two approaches to equine-assisted services when we look at, first is the therapeutic riding portion, hippotherapy, and equine-assisted learning. The bottom line of those three, or four rather, is that the approach is broader. We work from the ground, and then we work horseback, and then we also work through horsemanship. So think leadership along those lines, how we can work with horses that way, and care. And in Michigan, there are a number of centers, but a few of the most, I would say, recognized, and the first one being Chef Therapeutic Riding Center. By the way, they were the first center, as you may know, in North America. So that's a pretty cool thing that Michigan has to stake.
Michigan proud.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's CHUM, which is another fantastic program, and eQuest. So those are some of the locals. And then the one that I'm director at is the Equine Center for Learning, formerly known as Beekman. At ECL, we connect people of all abilities. So we have a therapeutic portion with horses, but to inspire the spirit, heal the body, nourish the soul, and open the opportunity to learn in a way no man can offer, is the way I see it. As part of the Lansing School District, we are able to connect with kids who otherwise may never even get to see a horse in real life, and have the opportunity to help them learn about agriculture and help them to learn so much more in the vast world of horses, and all the other things I mentioned earlier. But with us, they also even get the opportunity to ride at sometimes. So.
And then another question that I know people often ask, and families that have a family member, whether it be a child or an adult, that needs some assistance. I think there are some insurance provisions on occasion.
It depends. As we work toward a common terminology in this, because people will ask sometimes, if the therapies are so great, then why doesn't my insurance cover it? And for many, many years, it was considered an alternate therapy, I guess you could say, or an experimental therapy. So as studies have moved forward, we're getting closer and closer to having it always through an occupational therapist, and more, even at our center, we're getting phone calls that my therapist recommended this. So definitely from an OT standpoint, they can generally write a script, as it were, and it's being a little bit more accepted now.
There may also be people who are interested in coming out and helping at facilities like this. Do you take volunteers to help?
Absolutely. In fact, when I think about some of the things that we offer, as well as some of the other centers, specifically for ECL, we have obviously lessons, but we also have camps, and we have clinics, like, they're 2-hour blocks of time. Mm-hmm. And so those volunteer opportunities come about to help come either in a lesson. Sometimes you might be a sidewalker, which is how I began there 20 years ago. Little did I know that 20 years fast forward, I would be there in the position I'm in.
And it's really great exercise, by the way.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But there are a lot of different opportunities. We have several couples that come out and do it as a team. Then when I say that, they're feeding and cleaning, so they're grabbing the shovel, and and then we have others who just love to be in the lessons, and they're either a sidewalker next to a rider that is not so steady yet, or they're leading a horse. So there's many different opportunities from a volunteer perspective. We also have internship opportunities. Mm-hmm. In fact, my staff right now are primarily MSU students. I've got one that was a psychology major, one that was a physiology major, and one is going into OT. So those internship opportunities, what generally happens is they come to us for an internship and then end up staying on, which I kind of like that. So to become a volunteer, though, really it's a matter of contacting the center, and we have a packet that we send to you, and it's a very quick, simple process, and then we obviously provide all the training.
Excellent. So you don't have to know about horses, and you don't have to have experience with horses, and so you will get some training through the opportunity.
Absolutely.
As a real estate investor, I look for sharp agents who really know their market. Agents who do so much business, they can find me the right investment property and sell it for the most money without drama. When I need real estate advice in Lansing, I call Brock Fletcher. Brock can bring you an immediate offer or create demand for your home from the hundreds of buyers he attracts every week. That helps you sell your home on time and for the most money. Call the agent I trust, Brock Fletcher, and avoid the drama.
Hi, welcome back to the Michigan Horse Council News. I want to introduce Bruce Dewar, who is our new Vice President and also our Chair for our Trails Committee.
Yes.
And we are very excited from the Michigan Horse Council to be bringing back our statewide trail ride, and we have an extra component to that event as well. So I'm going to let you tell about our ride challenge.
Yes, this year, for our first time we're trying this, and we've partnered up with a company called Top Trail, and Troy Lynn, who runs that organization, has been helping us get this set up. And starting May 1, any of your rides that you'd like to have taken care of, I guess you'd say, by Troy Lynn.
Logged.
Exactly, logged correctly. Any GPS device, and between the dates of May 1 and August 31st, those rides will all be logged, and you're all competing for this wonderful little trail saddle we have over here to our right. So that's going to be quite a little surprise and a prize for everybody there. A good reason to be out on your horse, other than the normal reasons that we have. So
yeah, an extra incentive, definitely. So our top prize for the ride challenge is a Circle Y trail saddle donated by Circle Y and Tom's Western Store. Bruce, can you tell us more about the Top Trail website and the Facebook? And it's a really great program.
Absolutely, I'd be glad to. Again, like I say, Troy Lynn runs that and does a very nice job of logging all the miles. And there's a lot of leaderboards, so you can see where you're at. You can see the tracks for different rides that you've taken, other people that are also in our challenge and other people's challenges. It's a great way to keep track of what you're doing and what the other friends and folks that you'd like to become friends with are also doing. And in the end, when you can come up with one of these, it's always a kind of a nice little bonus. Exactly. So
Definitely.
Top Trail is quite an outfit. Their website is open to anybody who wants to join. Of course, to join our trail challenge, it's relatively simple. Go to Michigan Horse Council website, become a member, either a family or an individual member, and then you go ahead and join with Top Trail, and we'd be glad to have you on one as we're an affiliate group. And they've got a nice little entry-level membership that they have set up specifically for the Michigan Horse Council and for this ride challenge. And you're with them for a full year, so that's kind of a nice little bonus from them. So they also have their own little tags and whatnot. So everybody that rides in the challenge that gets to a certain mile marker will end up with a little bridle tag that'll go on there. They can kind of show off how many miles they rode, and so it should be quite interesting and hopefully bring a lot of our trails groups together.
Yeah, it's really a team effort. So the Michigan Horse Council is working with Jenny Cook and Amy Showerman, and then our Michigan Horse Council trail organizations as well, and all trail groups throughout the state. We're excited to be promoting trails in Michigan. We're excited to have out-of-staters come and visit us. As you all know, here in Michigan, we have some of the best trails in Michigan. We're really blessed with some beautiful forests, some water, and just really fantastic areas to visit. So if you join the Ride Challenge, we have a big celebration set up for September. Can you tell us about that weekend?
Absolutely. That weekend should be pretty exciting for all of us. Not only do we have all of the groups getting together that have ridden and that have competed for the saddle and all the various other prizes that are out there, it's going to be a great weekend just to get together with folks. There's the camping that takes place at D-Bar-D, a lot of fully equipped sites, if you want to call it that, with water and electric, which most of us who ride horses are really happy to have, just better than a tree on a rope. So that works out rather well. So we have that. And looking forward to having quite a few people with us, some people that really are going to make it exciting. Any one of the reasons would be good by itself to come out and see us in September. But we've got Daryl Nephew going to be there also from Circle Y, and he's going to be doing some saddle fittings that are normally a fairly good cost, and he's going to be doing free of charge there. If you sign up on our website, we can get you logged in for that, and they can be looking at all the different ways that their saddle can either fit or fit better, or what you can do to make your horse and yourself more comfortable. Also have Brant Clark, who's going to be there as our clinician, and he's an amazing individual. The things that he does and the way that he treats horses and riders, very not at all a cookie cutter type of a trainer. Does a great job with clinics in that he teaches every person that their horse and they themselves are individuals and they have individual experiences, and it's good to have somebody who comes in without you have to buy my gear in order to work. And Brant's not that way at all. He's a very good guy, and looking forward to seeing him. His 2021 circuit this year is quite going to be very interesting, and so it's more of a connection between the horse and the rider. And we'll see how that works out. We're really excited to have him there. Several vendors are going to be available, looking to get quite a few of those folks involved that we might normally see at the expo, but now you'll be able to see them at this extravaganza, I'd like to call it that.
Yeah.
And so it starts on Friday during the day. Come on in and get yourself set up. And Friday night we'll be having our campfire, have some things set up around there, some music, gonna relax. And then Saturday we've got trail rides, we've got clinicians, we've got all sorts of things happening on Saturday. Saturday night, it's a big dinner, the awards ceremony, where this sort of similar saddle to this, we'll be heading out with a brand new owner, so that'll be fun to watch. Hand out all of our tags, all the different people that are going to be involved. Should be quite fun to see all that happen. And have a band and maybe be able to cut a rug or at least dust up the boards a little bit. So we'll do all of that. And then Sunday we'll have our cowboy service. Daryl Nephew, who's also the Circle Y, is going to cover that for us. So excited to have him do that. And then, of course, Sunday, you're welcome to stay Sunday night if you've got the ability and hang out till Monday. But we're going to wrap things up Sunday night as far as what we're doing at the Michigan Horse Council. But we're excited to see that, and it should be a good time to get all of our friends and family together and enjoy being out there in God's creation. So that's what we're looking forward to.
It's an absolutely beautiful facility, too, up in Chase, Michigan, D-Bar-D Ranch.
Yes.
It's owned by Joyce and Don.
Yep.
And they family-owned, just fantastic people. And the barn on Saturday night is absolutely gorgeous. It's an old barn, white lights. We're going to have a barbecue dinner, a live auction. Ernie Birchmeyer with Michigan Farm Bureau is going to come up and help us with that. We also have our silent auction that will be taking place on Friday and Saturday as well.